Hi. Winter Olympic game is approaching. On the 4th of February, it will start in Beijing. So it's not that many days left. And in the same time, we are still struggling with the problem of COVID-19. But according to the Chinese Communist Party's official report, there's no problem with COVID-19. And they are still, on its way to be very successful in getting 0 case of COVID-19. So, Olympic game will start according to schedule. Is that true? Well, I would really like all sport people, all sportmen and sportwomen, to really find out the truth before you start flying to Beijing. Huh? Now, what happened is, what we know, and even the Chinese government accept it, and that is, for just a couple of weeks ago, a new COVID-19, the Omicron, broke out. A big outbreak in the city of Xi'an, a city with more than 10 million people. And now it's also in the city of Tianjin and Dalian. But officially, the Chinese Communist government say, no problem in in Beijing. And he say, oh yeah, we have some cases in Tianjin, but no big deal. But in Beijing, no problem. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do you know how far Beijing is from Tianjin, where the big outbreak of COVID occurred? 150 kilometers. That's not far. 1.5 hours by car. And the information, the statistics show, in average, every day there are about 100,000 people going out from Tianjin, okay? And 90% of these 100,000 are going to Beijing. Now they may have locked down the city that you cannot go that easy, yeah? But before they locked down, there was already hundreds and thousands of infected people moving from Tianjin to Beijing. Now, there is another town called Anyang, south of Tianjin. According to statistics, only 0.5% of these 100,000 people are going daily to Anyang. Okay? Now, 100,000, 1% is 1,000. So 0.5% is 500. 500 people daily going to Anyang, and 90,000 going to Beijing. And now the government tell us, the Chinese government say, there is cases discovered in Anyang. Yeah, doesn't matter. They always, how many cases, that is not important because they always change the true figure. But at least they admit. When they admit there are 10 cases, for example, then it must be many, many more than 10 cases. And still they claim nothing in Beijing. Isn't it strange? Do they have a very intelligent filter? They only let the non-infected people go to Beijing, and so that's why you only have in a much smaller city, Anyang, have had much more. And they actually admit that these people discovered in Anyang came from Tianjin, who spread it from Tianjin. So, ladies and gentlemen, how much you can trust the statistic from the Chinese Communist government? Now, I can tell you, recently, it's not only me who has a big doubt about the statistic in the Chinese statistic. Worldwide, I would say all independently thinking people doubt it. Now, according to a very, I would say, respected media, Forbes, very authoritative magazine, they have published recently an article describing a research report by an American scientist working for Stevens Institute of Technology with the name George Calhoun. He was applying the mathematical model developed by the magazine Economist, also a very serious and respected magazine. These mathematical models pay consideration to every country, how efficient the bureaucracy is, how competent the people are, and how well managed the medical system, and so on and so on, and also how heavy are statistics influenced by the politics. Okay, they do it. They use this model to check all countries. How true is the statistics? And now they find out. I mean, I'm not going to go through all these countries, a long list, of over 100 countries. But some example. They found out, for example, Russia, their official statistic deviate from probably reality 300%, which means the true number of deaths, they focus on number of deaths, the true number of deaths is 3 times more than the official statistic. And also some other country, I think India, for example, also the deviation of something like 8 times. They believe the real figure is 8 times bigger than the official statistic. Now, interesting is, what is the conclusion for them when they apply this model to China? They found out that the deviation is 170 times bigger. The real figure should be 170 times bigger than the official statistics. So the official statistic number of deaths due to COVID is 4,638. Okay, 3,638. So if you multiply it by 170, you are very close to 800,000 deaths. I mean, that's statistic from China. Now, this is what very serious scientists and serious magazine who claim that. But I can tell you my personal story also. I have friends living in China. Some of them live in Nanjing. And recently, for about half a year ago, it was also an outbreak in Nanjing of COVID-19. And I had a talk with my friends. And he was so furious. I said, why you are furious? This guy, he and his wife, they used to be very loyal to the party. He's even a party member and official, not very high official, but anyway, official, working for the Chinese government, very loyal, for years, the whole life. They were born in communism, brought up by CCP, And he got furious. Why he is furious? He say, you know what? He say, only within this circle, the community of our friends and relatives, we have that and that many tested positive and sick. I don't remember the exact figure. It doesn't matter. But then they say, you know what? What the government announced, or official number, is less than what we know about COVID-infected and COVID-sick people within our family members, friends, colleagues, and so on. How can that be true? And our city is a city more than 10 million people, and the this official statistic of the whole city is less than the number of people we know. Well, so that go pretty well together with the researcher at Stevens Institute of Technology, Mr. Calhoun. Yeah, he came to the conclusion it should be multiplied by 170. Then you come close to the truth. Probably it's the same case here. Now, what are we going to do? Will there be any Olympic? Well, I don't know. Maybe there will be, maybe there will not. But one thing I'm sure, the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, will do all the best to run Olympic. They don't care. They still claim that in Beijing there's 0 case. And they still push forward 0 case policy. And that's terrible. Mr. Xi Jinping is telling all the mayor, all the provincial governor, make sure in your region, 0 case. Terrible. And what happened if they discover any house which is someone get infected, got sick in COVID-19, the whole house will be locked from outside. I'm not kidding. You can see in the video. They are treating people like animals, because this is the method you do with animals. When you discover an epidemic is spreading around some pigs, then the first thing is you isolate these pigs with the rest, and then you kill you burn all the pigs, yeah, and to stop epidemic. And this is the method they are using. Well, they haven't come so far to start burning people, but basically it's the same thing, with all method to isolate those so-called sick one to the normal one. Yeah, it won't work because people is people. People are not animals. But this is the nature of CCP. For them, nothing is more important than power. So to show the world our system, socialism or Chinese characteristic, is most superior system in the world, any means is fine for them, including, locking people in the house, even let them die, no problem. Just to achieve, and also to be sure that, again, a host of Olympic, because that's important, that they can show the Chinese people. You see, under the leadership of the Chinese Communist Party, we are, again, the host of Olympic. It's a sign of, success. So, my appeal to the people responsible for Olympic Games, think more. You should not do the same mistake as the Chinese Communist Party. Everything just for power or for money. Think about human dignity, human rights. And if you don't respect human rights, one day you will be the victim of it too. Thank you. And please don't forget, if you like it, click like and check your subscription. And do support us in Patreon or PayPal. Thank you. Bye-bye.